Can't hear you, Councillor Dean.
Hello?
Your microphone's not switched on.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's licensing subcommittee and today's hearing. It's Wednesday, the 27th of January, 2021, 10 a.m. I'd like to introduce my colleagues that are with us today. As myself, Councillor Madassadeen, I'm the chair for today's hearing. I'm joined by my fellow councillors, Councillor Howarth and Councillor Morris. From the Chief Executive Unit, we have Mr. Ian Mulholland, who's organised today's meeting, and from the licensing team we have Mrs. Patricia Klein. From Trading Standards we have Mr. Liam Kelly, and I believe we're also going to be joined by Mrs. Jane Hilton. And for any legal advice that we might require during the meeting, we have Mrs. Gemma Hamer, and we have Saskia Wally, who's observing today's meeting from legal. So we'll move on to the agenda. Are there any declarations of interest? No, there's no declarations of interest. I will now briefly go through the procedure of the meeting. Mr. Myhan?
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for attending today's meeting. I'm just going to briefly go through the procedure of what's going to happen today, so you're aware of that. First of all, we've received a bundle of information from the licensing officers and the information that you've sent as well. And you've also got that information. We've all had an opportunity to read the bundle, and so we'll get an update from officers if there's anything additional. Then we'll have an opportunity to ask the officers any questions. That's both ourselves, any other colleagues, and it'll be your opportunity to ask any questions that you have, Mr. Myhan, of the licensing officers. Once we've done that, then it'll be over to you. So Mr. Myhan, you'll get an opportunity to put your case forward and put your representation forward. Once you've done that, we'll have an opportunity, that's both the officers and the councillors, to ask you any questions that we may have. Once that's been done and you've summarised, we will then retire to make a decision on how we're going to take this forward. And once that's been done, once a decision has been made, we'll write to you within the next 5 working days to give you that decision. Yep.
Okay, sir.
Yep. Do you understand that? Yep.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. So we'll move on to the application review of the premises now, which is agenda item 4. So can we go to the officers first? Well, thank you for sending us a bundle. Is there anything that you'd like to add in addition to what you've submitted in the bundle?
Just to confirm, Chair, there were 2 additional sets of papers sent yesterday, circulated on email to everybody. One was from the Trading Standards Department and the other one was from Mr. Myhan himself. Just to confirm you've had those. Yes, yeah, I can confirm I've seen those. Can my colleagues also confirm that, please?
Yes,
Yes,
Councillor Dean, I seven additional documents yesterday. Thank you.
That's great, thank you.
And there were 2 this morning, Patricia.
Yeah, the invoices.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
that were submitted. Right. Yeah, we've received those.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, do we have any questions for officers?
Can't hear you, Councillor Dean.
Yeah.
Sorry,
do we have any? Yes.
Yeah,
do we have,
I
yes.
do.
Councillor
I
Howard,
do.
yeah.
I do, but I also put speak please in the chat, so I'm happy to use either, actually. The first thing I want to do is, can I just check with licensing officers then about the documents that's come out this morning? Now, forgive me, Mr. Mulholland, I opened that, and I'm sorry if I thought I just opened one document. If there were two, I've just opened a PDF, okay? If there were two, I'll just need to go back into that email and get it open. So I'm speaking to Gemma Marsh and Patricia Klein. I'd be grateful if they'd just do me a bit of a run through. This is the one that I've got open is one that's 35 pages of invoice. It starts invoice.
Sorry, Councillor Howard, there was one document this morning. Sorry.
One document this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Is there anything that they with it coming this morning? This is just the first question. Is there anything to just guide me on that? Obviously, I've started looking at it, but is there anything to say about that document, that this morning's document? Thank you. That's the first thing.
I think, Councillor Howarth, the document arrived yesterday, so it's in time. It is 35 pages of invoices. It's Mr. Meehan's evidence, and I suspect he will be making reference to that when he outlines his case to you. I suspect it's to do with evidence that he purchases cigarettes, because the invoices relate to the purchase of cigarettes, tobacco and alcohol and other non-alcoholic drinks.
Okay, thank you for that. Councillor Dean, just to inform you that the other questions I've got are for trading standards officers, so I'm happy to bring them in when you think that, you know, that's the appropriate time. Do you want me to ask?
You can ask them now. Yeah, I think you're more welcome.
Okay. I've got a few to ask trading standards officers. I think I've got Liam, Mr. Kelly, and possibly Miss Hilton. So, Mr. Kelly,
just Mr. Kelly's on the call.
Okay.
Moment. Jane has.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just check as well. I don't have the red line. Am I okay just carrying on? You know, I'm often told to look for the red line. Should I just carry on speaking? You can hear me okay. You know what I mean, Mr. Mulholland, about the red line.
We can hear you okay. Chris, do you want to put the red square around Councillor Howard, please? Thank you. Okay.
So thank you for that confirmation about the first document, this morning's document. That will I'll perhaps talk more about that when Mr. Meehan speaks to us. So a few questions, Mr. Kelly. Can you just run through for me again what I would ask you to tell me about the size of the items?
Councillor Howarth, I think it's just questions for me as licensing, because it's my part of the report. I don't think trading standards have submitted their elements yet, have we?
Well, thank you for letting me know that. I think you'll realise I did ask that question when I ought to be asking the different questions. So, so the guidance at the moment is that I've asked one question to licensing officers, but I'm being asked by licensing officers to just wait a while to bring back my questions to trading standards officers. Thank you, and forgive me, Chair.
I think Councillor Howard, I do apologise because I asked you to ask the questions. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll take trading standards after Mr. Meehan has spoken under the other parties making representation.
Okay,
so,
I want to just reserve my right, just in case I have any. I might have the odd other question for licensing officers. It sometimes happens. I might just come up with an extra one for them.
I think we can be quite flexible with that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Chair, it's Patricia again. I'm sorry to interrupt. As trading standards are the applicant, they go next.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, the agenda says differently. So what we'll do is we will take trading standards next. So can we go over to Mr. Kelly, please?
Hi, this is Liam Kelly from Trading Standards, representing the applicant. All I want to do is just highlight in the application that officers found a significant quantity, 58 packs of illegal tobacco behind the counter. The employee was trying to hide them as officers entered the premises. In addition, there were 4,750 nitrous oxide canisters seized, Full details are in the written application. That's been circulated, so I'm assuming everybody has seen that. Okay, that's all I want to say about the application.
Right, so do we have any questions for trading standards, Councillor Howarth?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Dean. Obviously, I'm hesitant because the suggestion was I need to wait for a red line. I'm happy to go by what you say, of course. Thank you for being clear on the size of items that were removed, Mr. Kelly. In the bundle, it highlights about the canisters. I just want to ask a bit more about that. There's a comment, is there not, in there that the public had given a view, a member of the public had given a view in that bundle that they had seen canisters in the vicinity outside the premises at a point in the past. And I also, so any more that may need to be said on that from officers? And also, can you just confirm again, there was a police request to support the removal of the canisters from the premises, was there not? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't part of this operation, so I'm just wondering if Jane Hilton is here at the meeting. Has she signed in?
She's not signed in, no.
Okay, I can't say whether we have police information or what previous intelligence there was for this. All I have is the application that was drafted up by another officer that I've read, and I've read the statements from Jane Hilton. I can't recall everything that was in that statement.
Okay, thanks very much, Mr. Kelly. But something else that goes to the nub of this, though, because this is obviously a premises licence and alcohol is sold at this premises. Just to be clear to me, the bundle describes, and of course I will ask Mr. Meehan about some of these matters, but officers have said that the licence was not on display. Premises licence was not on display, and premises licence was not available to officers that have been attending the premises. Is there anything else to say about that, about the standards expected of a licence holder, premises licence holder?
I have no other information. All I can say is the statements, the written statement in the application. It actually just states what the officer saw. So,
thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Okay.
Do we have any further questions for Mr. Kelly? Okay, then we'll move over to the next stage of the meeting. So, Mr. Meehan, it's over to you now to give your side of events and an opportunity for you to put your case forward to us.
Okay. Hello?
Hi there, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. The premises license wasn't on display, but behind the counter because the original I was sent them by post to the council about a month ago, and the cigarettes
Sorry, Mr. Meehan, could you speak up a little, please? I can't hear you very well.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
Yeah. Well, you were fading away a bit,
Okay.
that's all.
Yeah, the premises license wasn't on the display but was behind the counter was the photocopy of that, because when I was applying for the change the premises license, I was sending the original by post to the council, Bolton Council. And second, the old tobacco belongs to my worker. He was got it, wasn't belongs to me from that day. I was working anymore with me, because I told him it's not allowed to anything is illegal in the shop. And also the canister, we got contract with people make cake and the stuff, and during the coronavirus they didn't put anything. That's why we put everything on the back. Was before was very good, but during the coronavirus we didn't sell anything. That's why we put everything.
Is there anything further you'd like to add to that before we ask you questions?
Yes.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. And any more questions you got?
Yes, okay, we'll move over to questions. Mr. Mayhan, what I'll do is I'll ask you the first question, then I'll move to some of my colleagues. A couple of questions, really. Do you understand, Mr. Mayhan, that selling illegal tobacco is a criminal offence?
That's right, yes.
You do understand that?
Of course, I send them the old, the tobacco I buy from broker, cash and carry. All invoice I have with me always in the shop, and 3-4 times the people coming from the cigarette place, they check everything, and I've got everything documented up to date I have. And yesterday I sent them all by email.
Right. One of I've had a look at the invoices that you've sent us from Best Way Cash and Carry, and the actual name, although the address and the name of the premises is right, there's it's in the name of Mr. Khaliki.
That's right.
The invoices. So I mean,
yes.
Is there? Right. Could you explain that, please?
Yes, of course. Because when I was bought the shop was during the coronavirus, they asked me, the 10,000 I bought the shop. Told them having got enough money that I can give you £2,000, and then stop me £8,000 I give you monthly. In this case, they're waiting to because I went to the cash and carry. I thought they can use the account. They say you have to bring it, the ownership of the shop. I told them they're waiting till the balance finish, and then I change the ownership, because they need a lease change transfer. But the Humaira Masjidi, they say no, till you finish balance we have to keep it. That's why we can't transfer to my name.
Right, so Mr. Khaliki is the previous owner of the shop?
Yes. That's why I told him I can't do, because the business is now down. We can't make at the start I told you I can give you monthly, but I can't give you all the £8,000, because I haven't got, and the business is down, and I not get any benefit from the government. That's why I'm working. I can give you monthly. And they say, okay, that all the balance finish, and then I transfer the lease with you, and then you can change it lease transfer, and you can change the account into broker and Best Way as well. And also in the meantime was the about 15-20 people was attached in the shop, was they broken and they so.
Sorry, I missed that bit. Could you just repeat that final bit, please?
Yeah.
About 20 people.
That's why the 20 people was attacking the shop. Was they broken everything and they took the whole drink and stuff, and I called the police, and the police was came, the ambulance was came, and they was attacked to myself as well. And there's a lot of problem I have in the shop, and still I one of my friends, because the work I must have told as soon as I found they got the tobacco, told them it's not allowed to work anymore with me. And now I ask him voluntarily, two of people around here, they working 2-3 hours voluntary with me. They know they're very, the business is quiet. Everybody is struggling with the coronavirus. And 2 hours from ladies who are coming and 2 hours from men coming here voluntary work with me. Yeah. And I try to base working with the here community people. That's it. I don't have anything else.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, thank you for that. I just wanted to ask you another question before I open it up to my colleagues. You've given an explanation of the reason why you have nitrous oxide canisters at the shop. Are you aware? I mean, you've given a reason for what they've used, but I mean, 4,950 canisters, as has been explained, is a very large number of canisters. Because it's. I mean, we know baking's popular, but 4,950 in a shop of your size is an extremely large amount of canisters. Are you aware that they are used by children for illegal purposes?
No, sir, because if I'm selling to for the children or for the other people, they should be finished. Nearly 3 months is with me. We just sell, the people are using for the cakes and bakery people. But during the coronavirus, because this shop was before the Polish shop, that's why the people, they know they got in the shop. But they're not coming as soon as, the coronavirus, they don't. We told them just leave it here and tell the coronavirus or somebody coming to buy all of them. That's why we don't sell to anyone. We just gave here to, the maybe back coming people. Or that's why nearly 3 months we haven't sold anything, because the people are coming, shop, bakery shop, they use the corner the case.
Sorry, Mr. Mayan, we've begun to lose you then. Right. Do we have any other questions from councillors?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, Councillor Howarth.
Thank you. Hello,
Howard,
Mr.
please move the
Mahani.
live box over to Councillor Howarth, please. Thank you.
Mr. Mahani, hello.
Hello, yes.
Yes, good. I've read everything, and there are different views given by yourself and the gentleman who worked for you. Well, Mr. Pavalis, I'm going to call him. You know who I mean, Pavalis. Yes? Yeah. Can you just tell me about his working hours, please?
No. Just myself working now, because I told him just before. Now, after when he was our father, I trust him. He's a very nice person. He's not to do. But I bought for myself. I told him, you bought for yourself what you brought in the shop. The shop should be legal and everything. That's what me now. Just I'm not working. I'm looking to people. But lady, she's my customer. But when she saw me alone here, she's coming to 2 hours help with me, like voluntary job.
Mr. Mahani, when Mr. Pavalis was working for you, that's when he gave some statements. What hours was he working?
On that day when I was on, then tomorrow, that day he didn't come. I told him, don't come anymore. He left on the 6th of yeah.
Did he work mornings for you?
No anymore.
Mr. Mahoney, I think you're misunderstanding the question. Councillor Howard is asking of when.
I'm okay. Thank you, Chair.
That's all right.
Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
When Mr. Povalis worked for you, for you, Povalis.
He was work from when I got the shop. He came to work. Yes.
He worked in the morning. In the morning.
In the morning, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And then from lunch to close of business to closing the shop, did you work in the shop?
Sorry. Yes. Afternoon I was working in the shop.
Okay. Your customers, people who come in your shop, it says more people come in afternoon and evening. Tell me about that.
Sometime afternoon, sometime in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, afternoons, evenings. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mahoney. Mr. Povalis. He said you told him to take the premises license down. Mr. Mahoney.
Yes. Yes.
Can you remember?
Yes, I can hear.
What happened about the premises license? You remember? What happened about that premises license? What happened, please?
The premises license about when I was take over the shop, I was sending application to Bolton Council, and they was asking my license because personal license was issued on the Salford Council, and they didn't send. And they come because the coronavirus, the staff. That's why we just send you the number. The time you can get it the card. When I was in contact with the Bolton Council, when they received my application, and they say no, without the we can't issue the premises license. We send you back the application, and the council will fill applications my address, and then after 2 days I send them back with the number.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mahoney. I really did my best. I know I was clear about premises license, and I know that you answered as well about personal license. Thank you, Mr. Mahoney.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Do we have any further questions from councillors? Any questions from officers?
Chair, I've got no questions, but just for clarity, apparently Mrs. Hilton's had some difficulties joining us. She can do it via another phone if there are any questions that you felt needed answering due to her being the investigating officer. Or are you happy? Are you happy that the matters have been dealt with by Liam?
Would my fellow councillors like to ask any questions of Mrs. Hilton? Or are we okay to carry on?
Carry on.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, councillors. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Klein.
I've got no questions. I don't know whether trading standards have, Chair.
Right. Trading standards, do you have any questions?
Sorry, Mr. Liam Kelly here from Trading Standards. Could I just ask some
Mr.
questions
Kelly.
about the tobacco?
Of course you can.
To Mr. Mayhem.
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay. Some of Mr. Mayhem's answers previously have been unclear. I was unable to hear them clearly. So forgive me if I may be repeating some issues. So I just want to ask, first of all, to Mr. Mayhem, do customers ever come in to try and buy cheap or illicit tobacco when you're in the shop?
Yeah. Yes, 20 people asking, but we refuse. We got a big problem with the teenagers as well, and about 4 or 5 times they attack, and because we refuse the selling tobacco and cigarette and alcohol. Yeah, they are every day they asking for the those stuff. Yeah, but
again, I can't hear clearly what your response was there. Would you mind just saying it again clearly?
Can you hear me now?
Mr. Kelly, I was able to hear the response, so I can confirm that Mr. Meehan said that they do regularly get young people coming in asking for alcohol and cigarettes. That's the gist of the response.
Okay, can I ask Mr. Meehan what he says to these customers who ask for the cheap cigarettes?
Because we are, to be honest, we are scaring. We can't fight with them. We can't, they argue with them. That's why we always tell them our CCTV camera is connected to the council. As soon as you drive, and they catch me and catch you as well. That's why please leave me alone. We can't do anything. We can't help you. We can't serve you because it's not allowed by law. And they, to be honest, they are shouting and they are swearing. We can't do anything. Everybody knows this should be this. But they are living this. Every day we got this problem. Yes, not it out. That's why we got a problem. They are always becoming, and they say the other shop is we can't do because unfortunately the camera is connected with the police and with the council. Our shop is different. Just this question answer we can give them. I say no, by no they are fighting, because before I told them it's not allowed. They are fighting and they will hit me. The police ambulance was here, fire engine was here, and easy answer is for us to just the CCTV to connect with the police and with the council. We can't say that. Just answers. We can.
You said in a written interview with the investigating officer. You stated that the employee told you that tobacco was for his own personal use. Did you believe him?
Hello?
Hello, did you hear the question there?
Yeah, can you...
Okay, I'll repeat it. In a written interview, these are documents that have been disclosed. A written interview with the investigating officer, you said that the employee told you the tobacco was for his own personal use. My question is, did you believe him?
Well, I told him what you bought this so many. What do you do this? This is because I can't afford the normal tobacco. Just I'm using this one. I can using myself. I thought fair enough, but what are you doing in the shop? They say just somebody brought me because I'm in the afternoon and I'm going home. I don't know. Okay, it's not allowed. Do you know this? Anything is not. It should be not in the shop. And they say sorry.
There was a significant quantity of tobacco, 58 packs, consisting of both hand-rolling tobacco and cigarettes. There were 4 different brands. Does such a cache seem to you that it's for personal use?
Sorry?
There was a significant quantity of tobacco,
Yeah.
different brands as well, 4 different brands. And I'm asking,
Yeah.
does such a collection seem to you that it's for personal use?
Well, the thing is, I didn't see anything of that. That he was first telling me, he said, "This is a shop." I told him, "Okay, what kind?" Then funded tobacco. I was thinking maybe he sold to some kids tobacco because underage is not allowed. That's why I was asking to my sister, and to be honest, I'm not do what he's doing, and you know this. I told him just my question is, what you bring in my shop? They say sorry, that's I did a mistake.
Okay, I mean the fact that it was in the shop as well, quite a large quantity of tobacco. It's the location, the quantity and the variety indicates that they were being supplied to customers. Does that not seem right to you that that it was for supply to customers coming into the shop?
I don't think so because I didn't see anything because he's got just one handbag and that's it. Everything when he came to the shop. I don't think so.
Have you ever seen your employee with illicit tobacco?
Yes, he was smoking. I told him it's not good for you, you know, to be honest. You can buy, drink, smoking, and then buy, you know, the normal tobacco. And I said,
okay, I have no further questions.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. So I think that brings the questions to an end. Just before we move on, does anybody else have any further questions?
Sorry, can we just double check if Mr. Mahan has anything to ask of Jane Hilton or wishes to challenge a statement in any way? I know he's probably not been given much chance. If she's available now, is there anything that you want to ask Miss Hilton?
Miss Hilton's not on the call at the moment.
She's not on the call, but she is available, I believe, to speak to.
Right, okay.
As the person, obviously, who entered the shop on the day, is there anything that Mr. Mahan wishes to ask her?
Mr. Mahan, do you wish to ask any questions of the Trading Standards Officer?
Well, I don't have any question, no.
That's
okay,
right.
thank you, Mr. Mahan. Right.
Thank you.
So no further questions from anyone. So now we move over to part B of the meeting.
Well, Chairman, if there are any final summaries, if anybody wants to.
Yeah, would anybody like to summarise, Mrs. Klein?
No, thank you, Chair.
Mr. Mahan, would you like to add anything to what you've already said? Any final comments?
Well, it's that's what my to person and I brought his work with me. I know this is was a mistake, but if because he's my responsibility to look after the shop and I have to be everything up to date. If possible, Stefan, give me this time because I'm also and during the coronavirus, I have 3 children and I have wife, and if possible, please just my license. I don't want to lose at the moment because the work is very difficult and the situation is a bad situation. That's it.
Thank you for that. So now we'll move over to part B of the meeting. Mr. Meehan, thank you for attending today. We're going to retire now to make a decision, and you'll get that decision to you in writing within the next 5 working days. Okay. Depending on the decision, if you're not happy with the decision, you'll have a limited period where you can apply to the Magistrates Court for a review of the decision. So thank you for attending today.
Okay. If the licensing officer and the trading standards officer and Mr. Meehan, if you could leave the meeting, please, and Mr. Phillips, if you could take us off live, please.
Thank you.
Okay.